Jumbo, my friends. My name is Sarah, and I'm going to be your safari guide out here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Are you folks as excited for our safari as I am?
Yeah!
Awesome, awesome. Just a couple of really quick things before we get started, though. First and foremost, please remain seated at all times during our safari. And if you folks have any lap-sitting children, make sure that they remain seated as well. And also, folks, the animals that live out here on the reserve are wild animals, so please don't
frequently do
anything
that.
like that. We're going to actually have the opposite effect. We're going to make them run away from us. We don't
Okay.
want that.
They
Now,
will
my friends,
be.
on to the fun stuff. Is this anyone's first safari ever? No one? Oh, a couple. Okay, a couple. Alright, we're going to have a lot of fun out there. Now, first and foremost, if you look right above you, friends, there is an animal spotting guide. That's going to help you identify some of the animals we may see out there on the reserve. Realistically, we won't see all of them, but we do generally have some really good luck, and I'll be adding my 2 cents in along the way, pointing stuff out to you. Now, also, folks, make sure you have those cameras out and ready. We never know where animals are going to be. Having those cameras out will ensure you get the best possible photo.
I'm not gonna.
Now, my friends, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory about our reserve. We were founded in 1971 to protect the local wildlife here in Africa. And around 1998 or so, Kilimanjaro safaris, we started coming in, giving safaris to the locals and to tourists, and we've been doing so ever since. Gotta say, it is the coolest job in the world. Now, my friends, keep those eyes peeled and those cameras out, because the area we're currently heading into is known as the Little Ituri Forest. And the animals that inhabit here have adapted to be really great at camouflaging themselves. It's their best what we call defense mechanism against predators. And folks, would you look at that? I already see an animal coming up over on our right. Dark brown, has those stripes on its legs. That is an okapi. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably looking at that okapi and going, I bet it's related to the zebra. That's what I first thought. But it's actually not. It's the only known relative of the giraffe. We know this because it has a really similar skull shape, as well as that same prehensile tongue that giraffes have. And prehensile is just a big fancy word, meaning they use their tongue to grab things like leaves and branches. Now,
Rhino
we're going to
time,
head on
baby.
over to
Rhino
a watering
time.
hole, which is the best possible place to hopefully spot a black rhino. Unfortunately, though, that is an incredibly rare sight. There are actually less than 5,000 black rhino remaining in the entire world. They are critically endangered, and those low numbers are unfortunately due to poaching. Rhino horn is highly valued on the underground trade market because some cultures believe it has a medicinal property. That is completely false, however. Rhino horn is actually made up of keratin, which you may recognize as the exact same material that our hair and fingernails are made of.
No rhinos today. Unless he's up here. Sometimes he's up here. Not today, though. Nope. No rhinos
My
today.
friends, I'm not seeing too much else out here in this part of the forest, but Hakuna Matata. No worries here in Harambe. We're going to keep going. We're going to head on up now over to the Sapi River, which is home to animals that thrive in aquatic environments like hippos. The thing about hippos, though, they are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. That's because they are really territorial, and they have these long, sharp teeth that they use primarily for defense. They are herbivores, though, so they actually don't eat any meat. And my friends, when we're spotting for hippos, you're going to want to be looking for movement and ripples underneath the water. Hippos spend a majority of their time under the water, and that keeps them cool and out of the hot sun. They can stay underwater for around 5 to 8 minutes at a time without having to come up for a breath. And there's actually a whole bloat coming up over on our left.
There we go.
That is awesome.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them, 6 of them. Nice, they're huddled down for the night.
A group of hippos is called a bloat, and they are around 5,500 pounds each. But they actually don't like to swim. They instead much prefer to walk along the bottom of the riverbank. Now, folks, those gray birds hanging out on that island there on the left, those are pink-backed pelicans. During their mating season, the feathers on their neck and back change and turn this really interesting pink color, hence the name pink-backed pelicans. They are colonial nesters, so that just means they nest in groups of anywhere from 20 pairs to even up to 500 pairs of pelicans.
Crocodiles come in. Crocodiles.
Now, folks, coming up over here on the left, I see some Nile crocodile. Now, they're exothermic, so they don't have sweat glands like you and I do, so if they need to cool down, all they have to do is open their mouths to release some hot air.
Nice. There's a couple of good-sized ones in there.
They have a bite of around 2,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush the bones of their prey. But they mostly eat smaller things like birds and fish. However, they are known to attack just about anything. So on that note, we're going to keep going. We're going to head on up now out of the forest and over to the savanna. You're going to notice a really big change in vegetation. The forest is dense and lush, but the savanna, not so much. The savanna acts more like a superhighway for millions of different migratory animals every year. And it's formed by one of those same animal species. So elephants, they'll kind of bulldoze old trees. Giraffe will prune the underside of trees, and then antelope act a bit like lawnmowers, keeping the grasses nice and low. Now, friends, right over here on the right, I do see a baobab tree. Baobab trees are sometimes referred to as upside-down trees. That's because they'll go leafless for around 9 months out of the year. And when they're leafless, it basically looks like someone planted them with the roots on top. And my friends, coming up over here on the left, I have to tell you, is my favorite view on the entire reserve.
Nice.
The savanna is an incredibly unique and beautiful ecosystem that we are all trying so very hard to preserve and protect for future generations of both humans and animals. And speaking of animals, the first one that I see is going to be coming up over on our right. It's the animal with the big giant horns. These are Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are sometimes referred to as Watusi cattle. It's after the tribe that did first domesticate them. They're actually the only domesticated animal that lives out here on the reserve. But I need you to sit down for me, bud. Sit down for me. Thank you, bud. Now those horns look really heavy, right? They're actually not. They are hollow on the inside, have kind of a honeycomb structure to them. They'll circulate blood through their horns, helps to regulate their body temperature. Do you folks want to see a magic trick? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lights. Just kidding.
Look at the
I know,
sunset,
so excited.
honey.
Oh, man.
Is it or is that
Yeah, that's the sun. Oh, yeah, that's the sunset to me. Nice to see them this time of night.
Now, my friends, coming up over here on the right, you're going to see... Oh, actually, folks, before the move on the right, if you look on the left, there are a couple of spotted hyena.
Ooh.
It's kind of a common misconception that
see them
hyena
last
are
time.
related to dogs. They are not. They're actually in their own family called Hyenidae. They're more related to cats, actually, than anything else. Now, the Swahili word for hyena is fisi. Hyena have a very girl power society. So even the lowest ranking female in a hyena clan still ranks higher than the highest ranking male. Now, friends, we're going to hang out here for just a few moments. And it does look like there may be an animal up in the road ahead. Now, folks, if you look to the right,
Yeah, 2 of them. And you're all moving around.
riders, everyone completely seated for me. Thank you. Now, over here on the right, these tan-colored animals over here, these are Patterson Zealand. Those are 2 females and a calf.
We've never
Actually,
seen
2
them
calves, so you
moving
can't
around
really tell their
this many
size. But the
moving
male
around
Patterson
like this.
Zealand are the largest antelopes in the world. Males weigh around 2,000 pounds and are around 6 feet tall.
Look at all the wildebeest. Everybody's moving around, man. That is so cool. Usually they're all...
And it looks like we're going to
some
be
of
back
them
on the move, my
moving
friends.
Maybe, but
Lots of animals out here on the reserve in this area. And I'm also going to talk about the really small animals coming up on our right. Have a brown stripe on their side and a white belly. Those are springbok, and springbok are amazing. They're actually able to jump 6 feet in the air and 13 feet forward in the behavior known as pronking. They don't do it all that often, though, just if they're kind of spooked or playing around, but it is amazing to witness.
Those are lights.
Despite their small size, those springbok are fully grown. They're one of the fastest land animals, reaching speeds of around 50 miles per hour. Now, to the right of the springbok, you're also going to see those gray animals. Those are white-bearded wildebeest. They get that name from an Afrikaans word, and Afrikaans is the language of the Dutch settlers of Africa. That word is wildebeest, refers to their long faces and means wild beast, but they're also called a gnu. GNU from the low grunting sound that they make. They have one of the largest migrations of almost any species, around 1.5 million wildebeest in a single herd. Are you going to do it? Are you going to cross the road, giraffe? Are you going to do it? You're going to do it.
Right.
There's a giraffe crossing the road, folks. We're going to hang out here.
Look, the baby's behind him.
Let her cross. Now, these are Maasai giraffe.
Look how big the
You know, that's because the pattern on their coat's pretty jagged and leaf-like.
Coming right behind.
Giraffe are born at around 6 feet tall, get to be 18 to 20 feet.
Really good.
Which does make them the world's tallest land animal. There is a baby giraffe just crossing the road here. I know, it's so cute. Oh, look at how he's running. That's awesome. Now, giraffe actually spend the majority of their day eating. They only sleep for around 30 minutes out of the entire day.
Look, he's running over there too, kicking and sweet, sweet. That is so cool. That is so cool. That is crazy cool.
Now, friends, coming up over here on the right, if you look way in the back on the top of that hill, you're going to see some shaggy-coated animals with a white circle on their rumps. Those are water buck. Now, they're actually really neat. They're able to emit a greasy substance onto their coats, which wicks away moisture, allows them to wade through water much faster than most other animals do. It acts like a wetsuit. Oh, a couple more Maasai giraffe over there on the left, folks. Another baby.
Oh, sweet.
See? Yeah, look like it's
Now, my friends, we are going to be heading on over to Monkey Point, home to a troop of mandrills. Mandrills are the largest monkeys in the world. Males weigh around 100 pounds, females around 30. Even though they live in social groups of around 100, they are really shy. So we'll be very, very lucky if we get to see any mandrills today. But if we do see any mandrills, super duper easy to tell the males from the females. Not just because of the size difference, but the males have this beautiful bright blue and red coloring on their faces and backsides. That does get brighter as they become excited during dominance displays.
monkeys in there, but they like to hide. They're very shy.
Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any mandrills. That's fine. We're just going to keep going, my friends. Now, folks, look to the right. There are some tusk marks in that clay. Shows that elephants have been by. We are about to approach elephant country. I don't know if we'll be seeing any elephants, though. Know that the herd that was here earlier today has, unfortunately, already migrated. See, elephants are constantly migrating in search of fresh food and water sources. They're led by their matriarch. She's actually the oldest elephant in the herd, and she knows where all those really good food and water sources are.
see some really cool wildebeest and antelope and giraffe. Nice to see that. Nice to see the elephants too. I don't know. Well, that's where the elephants would be if
Ooh,
they were
folks,
there.
look at that. Coming up here on the left, I do see a whole flamboyance, a greater flamingo. Greater flamingo are the largest of any of the flamingo species and also the lightest color pink. And they get that pink coloring from all the brine shrimp that they eat, which is really rich in beta carotene. They actually get that coloring over time though. They're born gray.
White lion should be too. They're not there either. Cheetah world. The cheetah world, I didn't see any though, but last time we saw one. Too dark up there to see them.
Alrighty, my friends. Coming up over here on the left, you're gonna have a great view of a cheetah laying down in the grass up there. There's actually two of them. One's walking around, one's laying down. Now, cheetah are the fastest land animals in the world, reaching speeds of around 60 miles per hour. And they can go 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. But they don't keep that speed for long. They are sprinters rather than long-distance runners. Those tear marks on their faces are really important. Keep the glare of the sun out of their eyes, which is necessary because unlike most big cats, they can do the most of their hunting during the daytime. Now, even though cheetah are really fast, they're actually not that strong. In fact, they're kind of small for big cats, so a lot of the times, even after running down their prey, they'll end up losing their kills to larger, stronger cats like lions. And actually, folks, speaking of lions, we're coming up now on a kopje, which are these neat stone formations that jut out above the savanna. Lions like to use them as places to sleep and sunbathe and also look out for prey.
Oh,
coming up over here on the left, so you already see two lions. Oh, 3 lions, a male and 2 females. Look at that, folks. That is amazing.
You never see them out like that. I can't get the zoom to work. Here we go. Oh, outstanding. That makes
Lions actually remain inactive for around 18 to 20 hours out of the day, which is just coincidentally how I spend my days off, but that is mostly because they are nocturnal. So they rest during the day, that way they have plenty of energy to go out hunting at night.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's the female members of the lion prides who do the majority of the hunting. The males will help a little bit, but not really that much. Now, lions do most of their hunting at night, not just because they have the added cover of darkness, but they have fantastic night vision. In fact, during the day, we humans and lions have roughly similar vision, but at night, theirs is about 10 times more powerful than ours.
See them. Never see them out. So let's put their head up.
We don't have tigers on it. Tigers are from Asia. This is Africa.
Warthog, warthog. I don't see the warthog. Nope, no warthog
Everett's
today.
coming up over here on the right. Great zebra up there.
Oh, it's a zebra.
Now, to settle that old classic debate, zebra are black with white stripes. We know this because their noses are black and there are no stripes on their nose. That's how you can tell. But those stripes are really important. It's actually how they identify each other. No two zebra will ever have the same stripe pattern, kind of like a fingerprint. But also, those stripes act like a camouflage. When there are a lot of zebra running around together, their stripes will blend, which kind of confuses predators, doesn't let them single out one zebra to hunt because they can't differentiate between them. And my friends, we are entering into the final area of the reserve, known as Magadi Glen, and we are in luck because I see one of my personal favorite animals coming up on our left, the scimitar horned oryx. Now, they are a desert-dwelling antelope, really well built for those hot climates with little water access. And they get their name from their horns, which do resemble the Middle Eastern sword, the scimitar. Unfortunately, though, folks, these beautiful creatures are completely extinct in the wild. But there is some good news. There have actually been a lot of reintroduction efforts for them that have gone extraordinarily well. Definitely a bright spot on that conservation horizon. And folks, speaking of conservation, that is an issue that is very near and dear to my heart. Something I'm very passionate about. I love these animals and I want to do everything I can to help protect them. But I need your help, and so do they. And if everyone just puts in a teeny tiny amount of effort, it really will make the biggest differences for these animals. We can all just start by recycling whatever we can, especially those plastics, because they're really bad for the environment. We humans use way too much. So just take those few extra moments and recycle those plastic water bottles, or maybe try and bring reusable bags to the grocery and retail stores. And just little things like that truly do make the biggest differences in our environment. Now, my friends, we are really excited to present our brand new nighttime spectacular Rivers of Light. There will be 2 showings tonight. Now, folks, if you have a fast pass, head on over to Asia for that. But if you're going to be doing standby, or if you have a dining package, make sure you head on over to Dinoland USA. That's where you're going to be heading.